Jai Hind everyone. My name is Aman and I cleared UPSC CDS 2026 1 written examination. And in this particular video, I'll be talking about some of my raw thoughts and how I cleared my CDS examination in one single month after resigning from my office. The idea of this video is not to bring the views, and that is why this particular video is not structured. I'm just speaking my heart out. And in this particular video, I'll just be sharing some of the insights on how I actually worked on and practiced the English part. I, by the way, applied for the OT examination. So how I practiced and how I improved my English question practicing skills, and also the GS portion, and how all of this could happen in 1 month if you dedicate yourself in a requisite manner. So I'll be just talking about this particular video. Might just be for 2-3 minutes. Let's see how the things might be. So for the English and for the GS, see what I did at this particular point. I've given multiple examination of different government exams, but this time I knew that, like, on just before one particular month, I wrote this quote in my room, that if you want to be a miracle, if you want a miracle, then firstly you have to be a miracle. And how magical things can be then, right? So I decided that how AI and the technology is just around the corner, which is just in front of me, and how I can just supplement and substitute all of my physical workload to the technology, and I can just work on my intellectual ability. For example, how can I supplement the note making portion of my preparation to the AI or to the technology, so that I can just focus on my mind. Because at the end of the day, you are going in the exam hall with the mind which you have, and through that particular mind's filters, you'll be able to answer the questions. And this is exactly what is the reality. Bhala hi you make 100 pages of notes on history, polity, economics, or so on, but still you are going in the exam hall with your mind. So the game is that how you train your mind in that regard, how you focus on cultivate and architect your mind in that regard, so that you are able to do the questions, do the things which are supposed to be done in the exam hall. I think I'm scoring around 89 something, which is not a very good score, but still I was able to get through that particular hurdle. Certain applications I used is that I focused more on doing doing MCQ solving practices, whether it is PYQ or any other type of thing. For example, if there are पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच के क्वेश्चंस हो गए, एंड इफ देयर आर एरर फाइंडिंग क्वेश्चंस हो गए, वोकैबुलरी के क्वेश्चंस हो गए, उन सब पे मतलब मैंने ध्यान दिया. जस्ट ट्राई टू सॉल्व एज मेनी क्वेश्चंस आई कुड. व्हेन इट कम्स टू माय सोर्सेज फॉर द इंग्लिश CDS जर्नी, देयर वर 5 मॉक्स विच वर देयर, 5 to 6 मॉक्स वर देयर. उनको ओपनली डिस्कस करा गया है. अब उसमें यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन एवरी सिंगल क्वेश्चन, एंड यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट why a answer of a particular question is the answer of a particular question. When you understand the why and understand a particular topic and a subtopic of it conceptually, you are able to answer all the related questions as well. So I just focused on those 5 question papers which are out there on the CDS Journey YouTube channel. जो I'm forgetting her name, the educator which is there. So she just analyze the whole paper for 2-3 hours or so, and हमें अपने पे भी we also got time to prepare and give the test, and उसका analysis, उसको ढंग से analyze करके you can score very good in English, right? Because it is mostly a game of English when it comes to this. But I believe that English should not be treated just as a language, but as a subject and as a conceptual subject, right? It is a conceptual subject. For speaking in English and practicing questions in English is a 2 different game altogether. For example, even while speaking currently in front of the camera, I might make so many grammatical mistakes, but in the question, this might not be the case. I might get the fluency of it, I might understand the questions better, but still, if I do not have the conceptual clarity about certain topics, about certain, you know, tricks or grammatical rules, then I'll not be able to correct the take the correct option in the MCQ. So this is about the English, that ki I focused on those 5 question papers and its analysis. And what I did is that I made online notes on my MS Excel. And उसमें क्या है that I have digitalized all my notes. I have digitalized all of my notes. If you want that, I can, I don't know how this particular video will go, because this is the first time I'll be sharing this particular idea in front of everyone. But still, I'll be making it, because not just for everyone, but I just want to pour out my thoughts that how things can be done if you work in a strategic manner. Though my current lifestyle has not been so strategic, so focused lately. Since past a month, I was in that sort of zone in which I was thinking about how it should not have been that particular way. But let's see, let bygone time be bygone time. Anyways, so this is about the English, is that I practiced a lot of questions, and through that analysis notes part, what I did is that I copy pasted all of the notes which I made and pasted in the Gemini. And usme Gemini, I told her that make as many questions as possible. I remember that just before the exam I was solving 100 questions, 150 questions, 200 questions on daily basis, few days before the exam, and I was so bemused. You can see in this particular channel as well that how confused I was just 2 days before the examination. So nahi samajh aata, right? But you have to keep on doing the things which are needed to be done. You might not see the result, but you will eventually. And I believe that when we are working on something now, we are having a sort of blind spot about what is going to happen. But things happen. Anything productive which you do, anything dedicatedly, anything with a utter focus which you do, will result into something meaningful. And that meaningful thing might not be visible, might not be foreseeable at your current state of life, but it will happen. And this is the magic of life. This is how the things actually work. And that is why the philosophy is like, just focus on the things which you are doing. कर्म पे ध्यान दो, फल की चिंता मत करो. Is there, I believe. I think जो philosophical learnings होती हैं, वो कुछ ना कुछ सोच समझ के ही आती हैं. And those learnings are classic in nature. Even 200 years down the line, 300 years down the line, those learnings will be there. Obviously, these things, I don't know, like this is this a strategic video or just pouring my thoughts out wali video, but still I'm just speaking out my heart, because this particular video is not structured at all. So again, coming back to the English wala thing, is that I copy pasted the notes, the analysis notes, the learnings which I have gained from the English part, and I pasted in the Gemini. Usme canvas naam ka ek option I clicked, and I created so many flashcards. I did so many scientific learning techniques. As I mentioned earlier, that how technological and how scientific methods you can use to learn anything. For example, flashcards were also there. Spaced repetition was there, and practicing learning through solving the problems were also there. So I practiced a lot of things through these methods. When it comes to GS, I was preparing for the civil services examination, but still I would not say that I did not specifically prepare for. If I would have just gone with the GS preparation I had for the GS, for the UPSC, I would not have been able to clear the even cutoff, I think, I don't know, for the CDS. But still I just focused on practicing the questions or so, and seeing that I have a conceptual clarity on certain matters, because I know that you cannot remember all the factual things, but certain factual things you can remember. For example, Article 371 was there in the previous year question. So I specifically remember that how just before the examination I remembered I made a mnemonic of Article 371 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K clause, and that particular same question came in the examination. So those things could also work out if you analyze your and analyze the previous year question for the CDS अच्छी तरीके से. So I think these are the two subjects, and in both the subjects I used scientific methods to study. I did not just study. I just did not woke up and started studying. It was very strategic, and for one single month I did this particular uh, I was working with this particular attitude, and as I speak in front of it, I believe that I need to work on my speaking skills as well, because I am, you know, slipping in between at times. So I think that is all, and this is about the English and the GS, and I was able to clear the examination, and it was a very big thing for me. This is the first time I cleared that particular examination. I hope that I will be able to be upright and do the things which are needed to be done after this state of life, after that particular fact which has become a part of my life now. So that is all. I might be making certain videos on how I practiced or how I learned, and while also practicing questions, and was able to clear the exam. So thank you so much. Jai Hind.